can't all do everything, but we all could do something. And I think, you know, specifically for people who aren't doing nothing, this is a way that you can contribute. And the ones who are doing something, this is just another way in which you can show your appreciation for the legacy and the life that Malcolm X and his family have laid down for us. So I just want to say that. I'm here with this new book, Block Reporting, which is a compilation of interviews, 31 different interviews with controversial people from all walks of life, including Philadelphia's own Mumi Abu Jamal, Haj Malcolm Shabazz, Freeway Ricky Ross, Gil Scott Heron, Umar Ben Hassan of the Last Poets, Emory Douglas of the Black Panthers, Erica Huggins. And what I tried to do was put together my most interesting interviews that could teach us, or that I could say just even taught me, you know, and ones that I liked and I felt like I learned the most from. Got more of which I want to know.
What is maybe one of the consistent threads that you found? Because when you were listening to different artists, and I had my copy too, so anyway, but like I'm thinking about like Delroy Lindo and his involvement with the African Burial Ground Project, and like just different people like Gil Scott Heron being revolutionary. So even the folks like the M1s and stuff, while they're artists and the black poets, they are still very involved. You know what I'm saying? So is there any consistent theme that you saw with them and the political activists and the political prisoners? Like, is there something that in particular like you saw that was maybe consistent throughout?
I think history that we should know about. You know, I think that, you know, some of them are current events, some of them are international history makers, some of them are legendary musicians. I think it's important that we know our own history and not just the history that they tell us that we should know, the history that Simon & Schuster allows us to get, or the CNNs, or the Sony Music, or Columbia, or whoever. You know, I think it should be us publishing uncut what's going on in our time, because if we don't, then we get pieces of the puzzle, but not the whole puzzle. When you look at Spike Lee's movie, you would never know that Malcolm X was international. You know, you read the book, you can see some of it, but I mean, you know, if we don't control our own distribution as well as filmmaking or documentation, then the story can get twisted real quick, and it can go down in cement in people's minds.
Peace, y'all. First of all, thanks for coming out, man. I mean, this is beautiful. I know that obviously there are pieces of the book that people disagree with, people think it's slanderous. I just wanted to know, you know, first of all, like, what was your first thoughts when you read it, and what kind of thing you think that we can do, create this campaign against the book? Is it about traveling around talking about it? You know, what can be done to kind of let folks know some of the truths that weren't, you know, in there, or to expose the lies? Like, is there any vehicle for that?
Well, you know, this is the book by Manny Marable, The Reinvention of Malcolm X. I haven't read the book in its entirety. I've read excerpts from the book. I really don't need to read a book. There's many books that have been written. But one thing is how I've heard the book referred to several times as scholarly work, and I don't see how it's scholarly, because, you know, it's unfortunate that sometimes we have these armchair intellectuals who are thrust into a position where they become a spokesperson or a mouthpiece for the people who they can't really relate to, and the people can't relate to them.